Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in this video I am going to be drawing figs. I kind of wanted this video to be more of a chatty draw with me, just because I was feeling like updating y'all on my life and how it's going. So first off, I set out all the colors I was going to use in this piece, and that's what this is. Here's all the colors swatched out if you wanted to draw along with me. I'm using the Ohuhu 48 color alcohol marker set. So lately I've been really motivated to draw, and I think you can tell that in the last couple of videos I've had. I don't know where this motivation has come from, but I'm going to use it to my advantage. So anyways, back to chatting about me. I have been recently moving, so I feel like that's why my videos haven't been as consistent as they could be, is because I've had to pack all my stuff and I haven't really had time to make art. So I appreciate you guys for being really patient with me and enjoying the videos that I do get out. I was hoping to start posting twice a week, but it's proven very difficult to even post once a week, so I've decided to not do that until I can put out more videos easily. Anyways, back to the moving part. So we ended up moving into a 200-year-old house that needs a lot of remodeling. So currently the floor of my room has plastic wrap all over it because we ripped out all the carpet everywhere and it's a mess, but I still have my desk, so I'm still able to create art, which makes me happy. I don't have all my art supplies that I normally do because I packed all my paints and stuff like that, but I have most of my alcohol markers and colored pencils and such, just not every single art supply I own. Honestly, it's enough right now because I don't normally paint anyways, so I'm fine with the art supplies that I have. I recently got a new job in September, so that's been kind of keeping me a lot more busy than normal. And I haven't had a whole bunch of time to do art, but I try to set aside like 30 minutes to an hour every day where I can just draw, doodle, not necessarily make a finished piece, but just try to get in some sort of art. So far it's been working out, but I know eventually I'm going to get burnt out of this schedule, but I try, especially on the weekends that I'm not doing anything, to spend a couple of hours doing art because I find that it makes me happier when I do that because I don't necessarily have as much time during the weekdays. Also, I am currently running out of things to draw and ideas, so if you guys have any ideas, leave them in the comments below and you might just see some of your comments in the next video. I also wanted to mention that I did get a puppy, so I'm having to deal with the puppy stage right now of having to go to the bathroom around every 30 minutes and not sleeping through the night, so it's just been keeping me really busy with work and everything like that. So honestly, if I can get art in a day, I'm happy. I saw these figs on my Pinterest page and I really liked all the colors that were in them, and I think I exaggerated the brightness of the colors a little bit, but I love how it turned out. Even if it didn't turn out exactly like the picture, I just had a lot of fun with all these colors. I'm very excited because we are going on another cruise, me and my family, pretty soon, so I'll probably have another sketchbook spread for that, just like the other video I had, and I'll be able to chat about the places we went. I know this cruise is going to be a lot shorter, so there's not going to be as many ports, but I'll still give a story time and draw with me on that. Also, I know this is a little bit off topic, but if you are drawing with me and drawing the same thing I am, make sure to send me pictures of those because I love getting people's pictures of their art that follow along with me. Okay, so look at the cap of this Ohuhu marker. Does it not look purple? Because when I'm coloring with it, it's definitely closer to a reddish pink. And that's why I always swatch out all my alcohol markers because it sometimes looks different from the cap and you never know till you end up swatching it out. I don't know why, but lately I've been really into drawing like plants and flowers and stuff like that with my alcohol markers. It's been really fun and I feel like they're a lot more colorful, so it's kind of out of my comfort zone, but getting in that practice has helped a lot. I want to start using more colors in my art because I feel like a lot of times I don't use very many colors. So I'm trying to really step out of my comfort zone and push the limits on the amount of colors I can use in an art piece because I feel like it turns out better. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but that's just how I feel. And honestly, I was not a fan of how these alcohol markers looked when I finished coloring them by themselves because it was just very like splotchy and it wasn't blended well. Even though I went in with the colorless blender that Ohuhu gives you, it just still wasn't looking right. But when I used my colored pencils on top of that, that's when it really started to come together and I actually started liking how it was turning out. The colors so far are kind of giving off sunset vibes, and I am definitely here for it. I know the picture had more of a purpley tone than I put in this, but I honestly don't care because I think it turned out great. Yes, it may not be super realistic, and yes, you might not know what fruit this is just because of that, but I love the colors in this. I cannot say that enough. Like, all of them together, like even the light green color with all the pinks, reds, and purples just looks really good. Also, if you're wondering why that little clip is there on my sketchbook, I find that when my sketchbook doesn't lay flat, if I clip it down like that, I'm not struggling with the page coming up and then me putting markers down where I don't want it. So I've gotten into the habit of just clipping my sketchbook page so it doesn't move. I think I found this tip from another artist, but I don't remember what artist that was, but I've been using it ever since. It's honestly a great tip. I know on the right side of my sketchbook, it doesn't have a habit of the page coming up, but on the left side, it's really bad, so I'm sure to use that clip on that side. Also, I'm wondering if any of you have used the ARRTX acrylic markers because I've seen a lot of artists on my Instagram especially use them and I love the way they turned out. So I was just wondering if you have used them, are they worth it for the price? And do you like the way your art looks with them? Is there any problems with them? Because I was really considering getting some, and if I do get some, obviously I'm going to do a review video on here, but I just wanted to know what y'all's thoughts were. Static Wool is like one of my favorite art YouTubers, and I know I've mentioned her in my other videos, but I saw her use them in a couple of her videos and I just love the way it turned out. So I don't know if that'll work for my style personally because I know the colors can be quite blocky, but I also really like how they turned out and want to experiment with them. Because again, I feel like these markers would push me out of my comfort zone, and being challenged as an artist is a lot of times a good thing. And in the video right now, I am using the Colorless Blender, and as you can see, it still shows the streaks. I pretty much knew that was going to happen because I waited so long to use the blender after I was done with the colors. but I'm not too worried about it because I cover it up with colored pencils. Oh my goodness, my colored pencils, I'm actually getting worried because they're getting so short and I don't want to have to buy more because I love these and I just don't want to spend money. So I got a pencil extender from Amazon and it came in a pack of 3 and it's a metal one. So I've been using that a lot more lately. You might see it in this video, I don't really remember. But for all my really short colored pencils, I've been using that, and some of them I've just decided are not short enough to use it yet, but yeah. Speaking of really short colored pencils, this is like one of the shortest ones I have. And it's starting to get hard to color with, but I'm not going to end up throwing my colored pencils away till they're super close to that eraser because I love these colored pencils so much. I've also thought about getting like the Crayola Prismacolor ones. I don't remember exactly what they're called. Not the Coloerase ones because that's the ones I have here, but just the like general Prismacolor colored pencils. I know they can be on the little bit more expensive side, but I kind of want to try them out. Honestly, I could probably go on and on about all the art supplies I want to try out, but those are just some that I have seen a lot on my social media, and I've loved the art that artists have created with it. I think the thing that's holding me back from getting the Prismacolor colored pencils is the fact that I really don't do realism that often enough for me to get those colored pencils and justify spending that, because the Coloerase colored pencils work just fine, so I use those instead. I know this video is all over the place, but it's just how my thoughts are running together. I swear I have ADHD because I'm on one thought and then the next moment I'm on another, so I'm sorry if I'm jumping back and forth, but this is just how my brain works and how I'm thinking through things. In the future, I would love to do an art desk tour, like when my room is done being remodeled and I get everything set up how I want to, because I would love to show y'all my desk. I think I got it off of Amazon, and just everything that I use, my lamps, stuff like that in a video, and I think it'll be really cool. But it's probably not going to be out for a while just because it's going to take a while to redo things, but stay tuned for that. I'm looking at these figs, and honestly, right now, they kind of look like Easter eggs. I'm not gonna lie, but I stuck through it, and I ended up completing the picture, and I think it turned out good. All art goes through an ugly phase. I just feel like my ugly phases are a lot longer than other artists, and maybe I'm wrong on that, but I feel like my pictures do not start coming together till towards the end. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I am using my Illo sketchbook. I think it's the 8x8 one, I'm not quite sure, but I do find with colored pencils it's harder to layer, and that my black alcohol markers bleed through, but for the most part, it's pretty thick paper. It's almost plasticky though, so I'm not a huge fan of drawing on it, but I told myself I have to fill this sketchbook up first because I hate leaving unfinished sketchbooks, so I am drawing in this one until I fill it up. I also have the smaller Moleskine sketchbook that I did a video on decorating, and I think I also did a review and opening it up and showing y'all what I've got so far in a previous video. I love that sketchbook because I feel like it's the perfect size. Like for my Illo sketchbook, I don't really fill whole pages. There's a lot of just random pieces, and I feel like with the smaller sketchbook, I'm able to fill whole pages easier, obviously because it's smaller pages, but that's just my preference. I do really like that the Illo sketchbook is square and it fits in my Instagram posts really well. That's super nice, but I don't really know if I'd actually buy another one again because I think it's around $17 to get a sketchbook, and I feel like that's a little pricey for what I got. Again, honestly, I kind of want to try an Ohuhu sketchbook, like their marker sketchbook, because I just want to see the difference and how well it does with colored pencil as well, if you can layer it on top of markers, stuff like that. So once I fill up this one and the smaller one, I'll probably venture out and try the Ohuhu sketchbook and then do a review on that as well. Anyways, back to my life. So recently I have been buying a lot of books because my new room has a bookshelf and I feel like I obviously have to fill it. I love to read, so it's not like a huge thing for me to be buying books, but I normally just read either on my iPad with the Libby app or like get books from the library. I don't normally buy books because I don't have a habit of reading them twice, but lately for some reason I've been reading books that I read really long ago, so I can't really remember them, and I bought like a whole bunch of trilogies to fill up my bookshelf. So if you need book recommendations, I definitely got you. So far I only have I think 15 books, which sounds like a lot, but once you lay them out on the ground, it's really not. I'm hoping to get a lot more. They're just can be expensive when you get a whole bunch of them, but fingers crossed I will have a full bookshelf by the time the remodeling is done. Since reading is one of the other hobbies I love to do besides art, I figured I'd mention my third hobby, which is video games. I love to play video games. My favorite two, I know this is kind of corny, but I love Minecraft and I love Call of Duty Black Ops 2, Zombies especially, and I love Stardew Valley. Those are like my top 3 games that I love playing, and I normally play them on the Switch because that's just what I have. Oh, and I also love playing Overwatch. I haven't played that in forever now that I think about it because we've been moving and such, but I enjoy playing that with my friends too. I feel like Stardew Valley and Minecraft are very chill games to play for when you don't really want to think about stuff, and if you like combat games, obviously Black Ops is going to be a good one, and Overwatch. Overwatch, I have wanted to draw fan art on that game for a while. I just feel like I won't be able to do it justice because I want to draw all the characters on a big piece of paper because I know there's a lot of them, but I know it's going to take some time too, so it's kind of deterred me from actually doing that. But for Overwatch, each character has like different things. There's tanks, which they have a lot of health and don't do a whole bunch of damage, and then there's healers, which obviously heal up the other players, and then there's attack ones that do a lot of damage but don't have as much health as the tanks. And each person has like a different ultimate power that they use that's different for each character. So I find it's fun to try out different ones to see which one you're good at and to learn different strategies. But anyways, I know not everyone likes video games, so back to the drawing at hand. I was starting to color these leaves in with a darker green, and I don't know why I put all those lines there to begin with because I ended up just coloring over them because I didn't like them. And I tried to use that green pen, but it wasn't as dark as the colored pencil, so I ended up just scratching it and not using it and going back to the dark green colored pencil because it stood out more. So I saw an Instagram reel of an artist that I follow, and she was drawing and had it like zoomed out and you could see her desk, and it was super messy, and I feel like I have not related to an artist more because my desk is always messy when I'm doing art because I want all my art supplies spread out where I can see them, so I'm not trying to search for things. And I feel like it just looks like a tornado came through after I'm done with the piece. Like, if you could only see the eraser and the markers and the colored pencils to the right, is just a little bit of what my desk looks like. And I don't know if that's how it is for most artists, but I am a messy artist. For all my pictures that I use either regular pencil or colored pencil in, I'm pretty sure I say this in every video, but I use like a matte acrylic sealer just so it doesn't transfer onto the other page or smudge or like ruin the art that's there, because if I took this much time to make this art and it gets ruined, obviously I'm not going to be super happy about that. So if I can take steps for it not to get ruined, I'll do that. I've seen some artists do watercolor over their pieces, and mainly those are just regular pencil pieces, but I tried that in one of my sketches in my old sketchbook, my mixed media one, and I used a pinky color, and I wish I didn't because it just made everything look kind of muddy. So I started using the sealer, and I feel like it makes things look better. It's still, if you use it on markers, it will make the markers bleed quite a bit, but because I use colored pencil over the top of this, and I make sure to spray really quickly over the top and do like multiple layers after a couple of seconds, it bled a lot less than normal. But if you hold that thing too close and there's markers or line art or ink, it's gonna bleed and smudge. Anyways, here's the finished product. I ended up coloring the background black because it made the fig stand out more, but thank you guys again so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos.